As I sat in my window last evening, a letter was brought round to me. A little gilt-edged invitation saying Gilhooly come over to tea. Each Christmas the Fogarty sent it, so I went just for elfinship's sake. And the first thing they gave me to tackle was a slice of Miss Fogarty's cake. And there were plums and prunes and cherries, there were citrons and raisins and cinnamon too. There were nuts and cloves and berries, and a crust that was nailed on with glue. There were caraway seeds in abundance, sure 'twould work up a fine stomach ache. It would kill a man twice after eating a slice of Miss Fogarty's Christmas cake. Miss Mulligan wanted to try it, but really it wasn't no use, for we worked on it over an hour, but a piece of it...
Third time's the treat, Frederick.
Till Kelly came in with the hatchet, and Murphy came in with the saw.
Go! What a catch, Fred.
To paralyze any man's jaw. And there were plums and prunes and cherries, there were citrons and raisins and cinnamon.
On the third day of 380, miss, my gun store sold to me the Ruger LCP Max in 380 ACP. The Ruger LCP Max weighs in at 10.6 ounces, has an overall length of 5.17 inches, a height of 4.12 inches, width of 0.924 inches, and has a capacity of 10 or 12 plus 1, depending on what magazines you have. The Ruger LCP Max is the first in the LCP family that is double stack magazine fed, which was its primary update in the family line when it came out. In addition to being double stack magazine fed, it does have a nice set of larger, easier to see sights compared to the previous versions. This version having the tritium night sight and anti-glare rear sight, both of which are replaceable. The trigger on the Ruger LCP Max is Ruger's Secure Action trigger. It's pretty good, or I should say at least serviceable enough. The Ruger LCP Max is chambered in 380 ACP. Depending on where you live, that might also be named 9mm short, 9mm Browning, or a few other things. The LCP Max is excellent for personal protection and home defense purposes. Let's now break down some pros and cons of the LCP Max. The LCP Max is extremely easy to carry and conceal. It has an easy to see set of sights and a trigger that's better than the original. Its primary selling feature is going to be the high-capacity double-stack magazine-fed nature of the firearm, and that it is very concealable. For cons, the firearm has snappy recoil. It's difficult to shoot well beyond contact range, and it's still a pocket pistol with many of the downsides that go along with that, like the previous mentioned snappiness and difficult to shoot nature. And now let's see that Ruger LCP Max at the range.
It's on.
Okay. Okay, firearm is in my pocket.
I'm going to say ready, set, and then when I say go, I'm going to hit it.
Okay.
Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go.
Three and a half seconds.
5.52.
Okay, that's pretty slow.
Well, but you know, 5 seconds was getting it out of your pocket.
Oh, yeah, right. Which is going to be the problem a lot of people have.
Right.
Is, and then I probably lost, you know, a third of a second or more because the holster came out with it. But that's also a problem people are going to have.
Yep, that's right.
That going. Oh well. Okay, here we go. Okay, whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Okay, ready, set, go.
That's pretty good.
Okay, what do you think that one was?
4.5.
3.44.
Oh, I cut a whole second and a half off.
No, you cut off almost 2 seconds.
That's an eternity in a life-threatening situation.
Yeah.
Do you want the cameras rolling for your attempt? Ready, set. Got it right in the top. What do you think your time was? 1.15.
Alright, I'll just see if I can.
Wham!
That might have come through.
Yeah. We are getting ready to reset our meat target, and after our first shots, you can see here's where the 3 impacts through the jacket. It was crossed around the back. Here you can see the 3 holes out what would have been the back of the jacket all the way through the meat target. Now there was the arm was crossed where it hit into the arm, and we did recover 1 projectile that fell out of the jacket when we opened up to reset our meat target. Okay, here is our first meat target from the High Sierra ammo. Now if we look at the bag, we can see there are holes low on the bag. It looks like we would have gone through at this diagonal angle, which is good. Well, let's go to the inside. Okay. So, do we have any impacts in the lung tissue? Look at that. 1 completely pulverized orange in the bag. Now there is orange pulp in the bottom. Let's pull our ribs out here. Okay, look at this. We have a hole here, we have a hole here. We have orange matter dripping off. Let's see, do we have anywhere that the ribs were hit? Not that I can tell. I think we passed. Nope, that's a broken rib right there. So this one was hit, broken. That would have been, I think, on the rear side. Let's see if we get anything that falls out of the bag besides pulp. I don't think so, since we had all through and throughs. Okay. So 1 broken rib, all 3 through, and we did recover 1 projectile. We'll try to get this on camera. Here is the 1 projectile that we recovered of the 3. As you can see, no visible evidence of expansion. Now this was the second target we fired on. Our coat fell off after 2 shots, so we had to reset. We shot a total of 7 shots. I think only 5 might have went through the bag. As you can see here, we got major damage. It has blown t-shirt material through the bag. We have holes on all sides. Let's go inside the bag. I'm going to cut this down the side to make it easier. Okay. You can see there's a couple. Oh yes, we definitely put some hits on it. Oh, you can see orange lung material has been blown out of the... Oh, look at this. You'll want to zoom in to see this. In the bottom of the t-shirt, we have at least 2 recovered projectiles. We'll set these aside. Let's see what else we have here. I had a feeling we might recover some projectiles. The Eat, Drink, and Bill Murray shirt is now Swiss cheese. No other projectiles captured in the bottom of our t-shirt bag. Now let's move into our sweatshirt. Okay, here we have two completely obliterated oranges. This one looks like it went through the juicing machine. Into our meat target. Okay, this has, I am going to speculate one of the ones that we stopped hit this rib here. This rib is not shattered at all. This feels like a broke rib. I think this is broke. Yes, you can see bone shards out the back. Yeah, that's a broken rib right there. That's a broken rib right there. One more recovered projectile in our sweatshirt. I think that's it. Now we did also recover just behind the target this bullet, which was, as you can see, it was covered in cotton. So this fell outside of the jacket when we opened up the jacket behind the target. And then three of the other, so we have one outstanding projectile basically.
While the Ruger LCP Max doesn't put the prettiest holes on paper, it does reliably put holes on paper, which is something not every 380 out there can say. The Ruger LCP Max is the perfect gift for someone who is looking for a high capacity, high concealable firearm. Our final thoughts on the Ruger LCP Max are, it is another firearm in the line of those that are built for concealability, not so much pleasure shooting. It has high capacity and high concealment in mind, but it doesn't break the bank. It's very reliable, but more accurate than most will probably be capable of shooting it. It might not be the funnest firearm to shoot, but it is very reliable and easily concealable. Well, anyway, that sounds like the perfect spot to end today's video. Fred and I hope you're looking forward to day 4 of the 12 Days of 380 Miss. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good night.
There were nuts and cloves and berries, and a crust that was nailed on with glue. There were caraway seeds in abundance, sure could work up a fine stomach cake. It would kill a man twice after eating a slice of Miss Fogarty's Christmas cake. Miss Fogarty, proud as a paycock, kept smiling and talking away, till she tripped over Flanagan's brogans and spilt the poteen in her tea. Uncle Hooley, she says, you're not it. Try a little bit more to make cake. Oh no, Mrs. Fogarty, said I, any more and my stomach would break. And there were plums and prunes and cherries, there were citrons and raisins and cinnamon too. There were nuts and cloves and berries, and a crust that was nailed on with glue. There were caraway seeds in abundance, sure 'twould work up a fine stomach ache. It would kill a man twice after eating a slice of Miss Fogarty's Christmas cake.